been a while. Um, I could go on and explain why it's been a while, but I won't do that because I want to talk about something very important today. So I'm just going to get right into it, right? So today I saw a tweet. There was a tweet that was going around on Twitter, and there's this argument that was happening on Twitter asking, "Is love enough?" And so people were saying, love is enough, love is not enough. There are things that make up a marriage. And I had someone ask, if love is enough, if we claim that love is enough, why do Christian couples break up? So that's what I'm going to talk about today, right? So first things first, we need to establish what is love, right? And ultimately, love is a choice, the way I see it. Love is choosing to put another person first. Love is choosing, it's a continuous decision to choose a person. And so it's more than the feelings, it's more than the butterflies, it's more than what you think that you feel in that moment, it's more than how they make you feel, it's more than how in love you are with the idea of a thing. It's you choosing, saying, I see you for all that you are. I see you for all that you potentially will be, and I love every version of you. Meaning, I choose every version of you. I choose you. I want you. I know you. I hope we get that. It's important we get that because for everything that I'm going to talk about today, I'm always going to refer back to this. So in First Corinthians 13, there's a long list of things that love is, right? And so in First Corinthians 13, sorry, give me a minute. Um Anyways, it says love is kind, love is patient, love is long suffering, it keeps no record of wrongs. There's a whole long list of what love is and yeah, what to expect from love. It talks about how love is the greatest among all others. It talks about how it doesn't rejoice in iniquity, rejoices in truth. They're like 1,000,001 things. I don't want to go over the whole verse, but in your spare time, read First Corinthians 13. So why is this love seemingly not enough for Christian couples? First off, I've never been married, so I can't speak to marriage in the sense that I can't say this is why people get divorced because I've never been married. But I can speak largely to separation because I believe that it's the same dynamics. We like to believe that I've heard people say things like in a relationship I can accept this, but in a marriage I can't. But I like to believe that it's somewhat the same dynamic, different positions but the same dynamic in the sense that half more than half times than not, if you can leave somebody for something in a relationship, the same thing you probably will leave for in a marriage because these things, marriage is not a fairy wand, that comes upon you and transforms your entire being, literally. So marriage does not change you. And so ultimately, the same things that will make you separate, the same things that probably have the capacity and capabilities to make you separate in a marriage. So why do people separate? So me as talking, I've been in relationships in the past. And of course, these relationships have ended, and I'm currently in a relationship, and so I'm just going to use that as a benchmark, right? The first reason why these things will not work, why people separate, right, is because of a lack of understanding. The truth about Christianity is when I give my life to Christ, when I get to know who God is, when I understand the Bible, I've given my life to Christ, I've heard about his finished work, and I give my life to Christ. What changes on my inside is my spirit. My spirit, I become born again, right? And so, I'm transformed on the inside. But there's still growth that needs to happen, meaning that my understanding is still at the place where it was before. Yes, my desires are renewed. Yes, my cravings, what I long for is changed on my very inside, right? I crave Jesus. I want to spend time with him and his people. I want to read my word. But there's still some level of learning that needs to be done, right? And I say this as a hopeless romantic because I one of my past relationships, it wasn't that love was not enough. It was that my understanding of love was flawed. And so sometimes we find out that we're not, and even as Christians, we're prone to making mistakes like that. Sometimes we jump into stuff. Sometimes we don't even jump into it, but we misinterpret what it is that we feel. And so somewhere in the back of my mind, I've always heard, oh, love is a decision, love is a choice. But I was moved largely by how I was feeling at that time. I felt like if somebody could make me feel to the intensity of what I was feeling, it had to be it. And so I went into that unprepared. I went into that relationship really unprepared. I wasn't prepared to stick it through. I wasn't prepared to I didn't really understand in that sense what love was. And this doesn't mean that I was any less Christian than I was. It's just that I didn't have the understanding that I needed at that time to stay in love, to love like I should. I didn't understand that it was a decision. And so when the wiggly woggly feelings left me, I just felt it's all over, right? There's that. There's also the possibility of the truth is relationships are, it's like a dance, right? It's like a slow dance where if I know how to dance, my partner doesn't know how to dance. I can hold my partner and say, this way, that way, I'll teach you. But if my partner is not willing to learn and my partner cannot dance, what will happen is my partner will keep on stepping on my feet and our dance will not be in synergy and we will dance rubbish and the choreography will be rubbish, right? So it's like that with love. And so even though love is a decision, even though I have chosen to love a person, right? Even though I understand that I'm to stick it through, even though I know what love is, I cannot um force another person to understand it in the way that I understand it. I don't know if that makes any sense. And so even though I feel like I love this person, it's not a guarantee that the person will love me back in the way that I we know love to be, right? When the person on Twitter was talking, she talked about how does the person handle conflict? What's the person's maturity level? What is this and what is that? And she talked about that as love. But I believe, according to 1 Corinthians 13, it says love keeps no record of wrongs. Love is long suffering. When you look at those conditions that people give, you ask yourself what makes a good marriage. List it down. Then ask yourself, what is love according to 1 Corinthians 13? List it down and compare. And then you see that those things, everything you think that you need is in love. But if the other person is not willing to reciprocate that, what will happen is my efforts will be frustrated. And in my efforts being frustrated, I'm in a place where I'm not growing, I'm not flourishing. That has a psychological toll on any human being, right? And so, yes, the relationship is bound to break. Not because love wasn't enough, not because I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but not because the love in itself wasn't enough, but because the there was no partnership, right? So even if I love you and I understand what love is, if my partner doesn't really get it, right, it won't be enough. And if you're asking, if your partner, how is your partner a Christian and your partner doesn't get what love is? Like I said in my first example, sometimes we're Christians and we think we know it, but we don't, because when we get down to it, like I said, I was a hopeless romantic and I didn't understand it before. I used to say I got it until it got to it and I couldn't stick it through. And so I bailed, right? And so if for my partner, imagine a partner at that time where I was who understood it better and tried to stick it through, I would have frustrated the person and the relationship wouldn't have lasted. Hence a separation. I could go on and give you instances and reasons of why relationships will fail. But none is not it's not because love in itself, for what love should be, is not enough. It's because either people don't understand it well, or it wasn't practiced in the truth of what it is, right? Um, Also, if you're not used to, a lot of times you're waiting to, that love is a decision. You said love is something that I choose, right? I choose you, I choose you. But you're not practicing in the seemingly little way. So you don't love the people around you. You don't love your brethren, you don't love people around, but you're waiting for one person for almighty love to come from nowhere and you're going to pour out that love, you will fail. Why? Because these things are practiced. These things are, you can't grow in love. But then, that aside, I believe that love is, and love should be enough. And as to why people separate, there are many reasons. But ultimately, when you marry somebody, right, um, in choosing a person, you can look at every quality. You're not looking at, do I just have feelings for this person? Do I just um care about this person? I'm looking at everything. Is this person kind? Is this person good? Is this person truthful? How does this person treat people around them? How does this person handle conflict? How does this person do this? How does this person do that? Ultimately, how do I feel about this person? Am I attracted about am I attracted to am I attracted to this person? And when all has been said and done, I've looked at it from every parameter and I think that this is what I want, then I zone in and I make a choice. And I say to somebody, I love you. And I think this is hard because this conversation is hard because we're in a time where love is so freely given. And so people say, I love you like it's water. But it's a huge statement. It's a promise when you say to somebody, I love you. You're telling them, I choose you. You're telling them, no matter what happens, right? It's you. I'm sticking to you, right? And so it's a huge commitment, and I feel like you should have considered everything, right, before you say I love you. But the truth is, even when all your assignment has been done, even when you know a person and you feel like this is the one I want to do it with, there will still be things that will spring up at you because life is like that. Life will bring up things that you never expected. But it's you saying, no matter what happens, I don't want to have it any other way if it's not with you. That's what in essence it is, right? It's the same way when the Bible speaks of love, right? It's a comparison between the way that Jesus loves us and that is the way that God loves recklessly. Do you know what recklessly is? Like senselessly, like you are not as Laji Iran always says, dating is a time for you to love intelligently, and marriage is a time for you to love blindly. But love in and of itself, after all has been said and done, should be enough to last you in a marriage. That being said, it's also possible that you love someone, you understand what it is, and the person is taking this love for granted, and the person doesn't understand it, and so you've probably found yourself in an abusive relationship. You've probably found yourself in a place that you shouldn't be. It's okay to leave. Why? Because you are not, in as much as you are ready to give love, you should also be ready to receive love to the standard that you deserve. Because the truth is, Christ has set his standard, and I say it all the time. He set his standard, and you do not deserve anything less than that standard, male and female inclusive. So yes, love is enough, and yes, people break up, but none of that is not because love is enough, but it's because people in and of themselves are fickle and people don't love in the fullness of what love should be. People don't understand love in the fullness of what love should be. And until that happens, until that is understood, until that is deep, there's always going to be separation, there's always going to be divorce. So before you say I love you to the next person, think it through. How long am I willing to wait? Think of every possible version of that person and think if you would stick it through, not because of what you're feeling or how you're feeling, but because of what you decided to do. And so every day when you wake up and you see your partner, you look at the person and you choose again daily to love them. You choose them daily. Okay, that's it. Bye bye. Oh, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment or reach at me at any of my social media handles. I love you.